Hello, everyone. We're going to wait for a little bit, let people in. Just going to get going here in a minute or so. Last week, we were talking about adding Jeopardy music so people understand we're not frozen. No, 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 no. All right, shall we dive in? Yep. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. We're here today to talk about the Uber Commute Shuttle program. I'm Vicki Sundstrom, and this session is also co-presented with our team at Uber, as well as Amanda, who's our marketing person here, but also a writer in the program. So today we're going to cover just some basic introductions of the team that is here, which, it's Amanda and Liz Garcia from Uber, talk to you about the partnership we have with Uber, the feedback we've been getting so far, and general information about the program if you're interested in signing up. We have a partnership with Uber. Uber is down the street from UCSF here in Mission Bay. The program that we have with them is for use of their employee shuttle program to make the capacity they have available currently to our employees commuting to Mission Bay. Our employees would be commuting with their employees on their program. The program works as a monthly subscription. Once you pay, you're into the program for the month. It starts with the calendar month, and there's 10 routes that employees can have access to. We're currently in the fourth month of the program. We are seeing 77% of the riders in the month of September are recurrent riders. In other words, they appreciate the program and it's working for them and they keep coming back. The San Ramon and Marin routes are the popular ones. There's plenty of capacity in San Francisco and the South Bay routes, as well as some capacity in the North Berkeley route. Um, Part of what we want to do today is tell you about how well it's working. And at this point, I'd like to have our partner, Liz Garcia, take it from here.
Awesome. Thank you, Vicky. Hi, everyone. It's nice to meet you all virtually. Like Vicky said, I'm Elizabeth. I'm the Senior Account Ops Manager for Uber Shuttle in the US and Canada. Just speaking from the Uber side, we are absolutely thrilled to be partnering with UCSF and to have been partnering with UCSF for the last few months. And I'm personally very excited to be here today with Amanda and Vicky. So some of you may have seen the very sweet love letter that wrote after
Hey, Liz, can
this,
you turn off
and
your
how
camera?
important. Yes. Yeah,
Maybe
sure.
turn off your camera because you're breaking up a bit.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now go.
Sorry about
No
that. Okay,
worries.
perfect. So, like I had said, some of you may have seen the love letter that Amanda wrote to Uber Shuttle. It was a super personal and meaningful experience to her. It just demonstrates how important your commute is day to day. So, Amanda, I want to take a few minutes, dig into your experience a little bit more, ask you a few questions live, just so some other people here can get an understanding of the real difference that it's made to you day to day.
Yep, perfect. Let's get started.
Cool. Awesome. So, in your love letter, you painted a very positive picture of what commuting looks like now for you. But I think it would be really meaningful for people to understand what it looked like before Uber Shuttle actually came into the picture. So, if you could talk a little bit about just what your commute looked like day to day before Uber Shuttle, came into the picture.
Yeah, so before Uber, I was actually driving into work every day. I am from Fremont, so I would probably, try to leave Fremont by 6:45. And then when it came to going home, I would probably get home around like 6 p.m. So I was driving into work 4 times a day, from Fremont. So that was my form of commute before Uber.
Got it. And if you could just repeat how long it took you in the mornings and then in the afternoons to get to the office.
Yeah, so I think anyone that like drives to work kind of has found that like sweet spot of when to leave. And for me, like I needed to leave by 6:45 and then I could make it to Mission Bay in an hour, but anything after 6:45, my commute was at least an hour and a half. And then definitely on the ride back home, it was always an hour and a half, an hour 45, just
Mhm.
getting back home.
Yeah. And what kinds of challenges and frustrations were you running into when you were having to drive to and from
I
work?
think definitely, definitely the Bay Area traffic, that was just very frustrating for me. And especially after a long day of work, I'm not gonna lie, having patience for traffic was really hard. I also think just, going back 4 times a week, I didn't really, for some reason, didn't think about the cost of that. And that was also another thing, was like, it was really taking a toll on my wallet. Just like the parking, the gas, the toll, doing that 4 times a week was a lot.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good call out, the costs and all of that. It's kind of a good segue into my next question, which is in terms of, your energy, stress, overall well-being, what kind of toll was driving into work and driving home from work taking on you?
Yeah, I'm normally a very like positive, happy person, but I mean, even in the mornings once I would get to work, I was already feeling really stressed and really tired. And then by the end of the day, I mean, I was already even more drained. And there are a lot of other commitments I have after work, and there would be sometimes that I wouldn't even do those because I was just so tired. I just wanted to get home and just sleep because I was just so drained. So I feel like my energy levels weren't the best before I was taking Uber.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot to add on to an already stressful and jam-packed work day. Cool. So fast forward to today, things obviously look a little bit different for you now that you use Uber Shuttle. So talk to me a little bit about how your commute has changed since you've started riding the shuttle consistently.
I definitely think that I'm less I'm less stressed than when I wasn't using Uber Shuttle. It's kind of just like you hop on the Uber Shuttle, and for me, especially in the mornings, I'll just go to sleep automatically. So it's nice to, even though I'm waking up early, I still kind of get in like another hour 15 of sleep, and then I'll be at Mission Bay. So I definitely think it's less stressful and I feel way more relaxed and energetic by the time I get to work.
Awesome. Would you say that that is what you enjoyed the most about your current commute is getting a little bit more sleep in the mornings?
Hey, yeah, I definitely like either I sleep or if there's like a few emails I need to send out before the end of the day, I'll send those out. So it's nice. I do love the fact that there's Wi-Fi on the Uber shuttle. So there's still like work that I can get done. That has been really nice. So I do think if I'm not relaxing, I'm still being productive.
Yeah.
So I think those are the my favorite things about the Uber shuttle.
Awesome. So in addition to the Wi-Fi, the extra sleep, how else has taking the shuttle in the mornings and the afternoons impacted your routines or your work-life balance or just your overall well-being?
I just have more energy. Especially I think what stood out to me was having energy at the end of the day when I was driving. I mean, I was just so drained getting home. And then taking the Uber shuttle and sleeping on the ride back home, I'm more awake. I can, I go to dance classes after work. I work out after work, so I have more energy to do those things. So I honestly love the Uber shuttle because it kind of gives me like a few more hours of sleep that I wouldn't have because I would be solo driving.
Yeah, adds a lot more into your day. Makes sense. So compared to your old commute and driving in and out of work, how else has the shuttle, been more convenient or reliable or affordable? We've talked a little bit about the well-being piece, but let's talk
Yeah.
about it.
I mean, again, the cost effectiveness of it. And, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was also still trying, when I was driving, I was still trying to find other ways to commute. I live really close to BART and there were other public transit options I had. But I'm also not going to lie that safety was a huge concern for me. And so that is why I leaned more towards driving. And then there was also a part of me that was just like, I liked having control of my commute. Like I liked having access to my car. And I think I mentioned this in my love letter is that a big lesson I learned was just kind of letting go of control of things that I can't have control of, which is like the traffic, especially when there's Giants games or Warriors games or anything, near Mission Bay that would cause delays. At least I'm not sitting in that traffic. And that was like another thing that I wanted to mention was you do not sit in traffic on the Uber commute shuttle. Like you're on the Bay Bridge, and if I was solo driving either the Bay Bridge or Dumbarton, I mean, you're sitting in traffic waiting. But with the Uber shuttle, you pass, you just pass by all the cars, which I love. So I think one, it definitely addressed my safety concerns. I feel safe on the Uber shuttle, the cost effectiveness, and I do think it's very reliable in it. And again, going back to the wellness piece, I feel more relaxed.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a really helpful picture. And I think my last question would be, would you recommend Uber Shuttle to your UCSF colleagues that are here and ones that are not here that couldn't make it today? And if so, what is it that you would want to say to them?
I would definitely recommend it. I feel like it has made commuting to work less stressful. It's less of a hassle. But I also want to, say that not all the transit options are going to work for people. And maybe Uber Commute Shuttle won't work for some people, but it works for me. Like when I looked at the schedule, looked at where the pickup stop, drop off stop was, it worked for me. So that's why I was really excited to take it. I mean, I had my hesitations in the beginning. I was excited, still a little hesitant, but it ended up really working out and I do love it.
Awesome. Awesome. That's super great to hear. Well, thank you, Amanda, and thank you for answering all of those questions. Like I said, on the Uber side, we are super grateful to be partnering with UCSF, but we're also very grateful to you for all the love that you've shown Uber Shuttle. And I know a lot of other people have different experiences and lots of things to say about it. So I'm excited for you to walk us through some more testimonials of other UCSF riders.
Yeah, so it's not just me in love with the Uber shuttle, but we've heard from a lot of other people. So I just wanted to take a moment to read some of their testimonials about their experience. So first, Edward, he is on the San Ramon route, and Edward says the Uber shuttle program has been a game changer, making my commute seamless and efficient. I can definitely agree with that. It is a very seamless process. It's just again, you're just getting on the Uber shuttle, sitting down, if sleeping if you need to, maybe working, and then you're at Mission Bay. And so that was Edward's testimonial. Jonathan, who's also on the San Ramon route, wrote to us, I write this email as I ride one of the UCSF partnered Uber employee shuttles. This is the most amazing program I have ever encountered at UCSF, and I want to pass along my thanks. Also echoing Jonathan, like shout out to UCSF Transportation, specifically Vicky. I know that you have been working hard on this. So, and it really is an amazing partnership. So thank you for that. This is from Loria. This is actually her mom takes the San Ramon route, and she said, my mom has really been liking this option for her long commutes to Mission Bay. The drive doesn't feel nearly as difficult as it did last year when it was really taking a toll on her mentally.
I
And
want to add that Loria's mom, sorry, Amanda,
oh,
that
you're fine.
the mom drives from Brentwood to Walnut Creek and hops on the bus. And she's been very grateful for the opportunity to be on it. But it was nice that she was able to make that work for her.
Yeah. Jessica is on the SF route. She she says, I brag to all my coworkers on how Uber shuttles make me feel like an appreciated public health worker, where prior to this, I was stuck with expensive parking fees or crammed onto overcrowded buses. Now I can actually decompress from stressful hospital shifts or catch up on work while commuting. You have directly contributed to elongating my career, increasing my ability to treat my patients, and significantly helped my mental health. I appreciate everyone involved in this program. I think that's interesting that she mentioned mental health because I honestly did not um, really see how it was affecting my mental health until I left driving solo and like went on the Uber shuttle and I noticed my mental health, my stress levels were way lower. So. This is from Sophia. This is actually, I work with Sophia in marketing, and we both are huge fans of the Uber shuttle. We actually talk about our Uber shuttle every day when we get into the office. But if you don't follow the Campus Life Services Instagram, she's always posting stuff about Uber. But she had this video that she took, and like I mentioned, you don't sit in traffic at all on the Uber shuttle, and it kind of just shows you that you are just passing everyone driving. And she also, something that she loves sharing with me when we get into the office, she has the like big Uber luxury bus, so it sits pretty high. And something for her is she just like loves looking at the view from the Uber shuttle. She says there's a very different vantage point than when you're driving in the car. She mentions, the bird's nests on the Bay Bridge that she likes to look at. She likes looking at all the skyscrapers in SF that you don't normally pay attention to when you're driving solo. So Sophia is also a huge fan of the Uber shuttle and definitely follow Campus Life Services because she always posts her commute. It's really, really nice to see.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Amanda, for helping us out with that. So about the program and how to sign up, the shuttle subscriptions cost 160 per month and operate on a calendar month cycle. Payment for the service would be through a UCSF payment portal. Reservations and real-time information are via the Uber app. Participants are responsible for traveling to the stops and for any expenses related to that travel. Route stops and schedules are based on Uber's existing program, and currently the program is only open to UCSF employees. We have a website for the Uber shuttle program on the transportation as a part of the transportation website. On the transportation website, you'll link to the schedule. And when you're in the schedule, you can actually just click on the name of the stops and you can see where it stops. So you have a sense for not generally a, say, Berkeley BART station, but where at the Berkeley BART station to catch the shuttle. This is generally just to give you some high level information and enough detailed information for you to make decisions, but the actual tracking of the vehicles and real-time information is in the app. Once you sign up, the sign up period is for about 2 weeks in the month. Once you sign up, We send all the information to Uber around the 25th of the month. And from there on, you'll get, if you're a new rider, you'll get information on how to connect, how to link your Uber account to the Uber app. But if you're an existing user, it just continues going and it's seamless to you. Here's the payment portal that we have set up. You can connect to the payment portal through the UCSF website. And currently anybody that's coming back, a recurrent writer is they're signing up right now. Come Monday, new writers can sign up. When you're integrated into the app, if you're a new writer, this usually happens around the 25th or the 26th of the month, you'll get an email. And when you click on the email, it'll connect you to the Uber app and you'll start to see the shuttle tile. This just gives you a general sense of the app experience. Once you're in the shuttle tile, you go to the next page and you can see what it looks like in terms of from Mission Bay, all the routes that are visible from Mission Bay. And then when you click to the route, so here the example is for North Berkeley, you can see the various runs leaving and you make reservations through here. You'll have to have the notifications on, but once you have the notifications on for the Uber app, you can see that the driver is arriving. You can see who the driver is. And this notification, if you click it, it takes you to what they call a ticket is actually a QR code, and the driver scans the QR code for your reservations. Here in Mission Bay, the pickup and drop-offs are on either side of the Chase Center. So you get dropped off on Warriors Way, but you get picked up on 16th Street. And some of the photos you saw earlier were from 16th Street. And at this point, I'm going to open it up for a Q&A. Now, what I'm realizing is I can't see the Q&A when I'm sharing the screen, so I'm turning that off. And any questions here that we can answer?
Yeah, maybe I can help out with this.
Okay,
Vicki.
thanks.
So, is there a waiting list for Uber Shuttle East Bay?
Is there a waiting list for which East Bay one? Um,
I'm guessing maybe that's the Oakland, Berkeley,
Or the
possibly.
Dublin one that is
Or-
considerably sold out a lot?
uh, we had a little bit of a list for the first month only to keep track of who didn't get a seat, but we haven't had to do that since. So we've had availability since. The first month we sold out on the first day, but since then we've had seats available, so there hasn't been a need for a waiting list.
So whomever wrote that, please do look up. We hope you join us.
I think what it comes down to is that when we're not doing sales, the store looks like there's nothing to sell. So keep an eye out for the bulletin. So the bulletin the Amanda, can you let us know when the next bulletin goes out?
Yeah, so the Uber shuttle sign up dates will always go out in a transportation digest. The next one will be out on Monday, September 15th. If you are interested in being a new rider for Uber, that is when you can start to sign up is September 15th.
And I think we're going to, we've got some dates in advance that we're posting on the website too, right?
Yes,
Great.
yes. So that will also include like if you want to ride for November, what date in October you need to start signing up by. Yeah, we'll put that on the Uber Commute Shuttle website.
It's also at the store when it tells you when the store will be open for new riders. Next question.
If you miss one reserved shuttle, for example, 4 p.m., can you make another reservation for the next shuttle? Is there space if there's space available?
I think Liz can dive in here.
Yes, I can take that one. No worries. If there is space available on the 5 p.m., you should be able to. We won't bar you from booking same day if you miss your reservation or if you cancel your reservation.
Say that again. You can't do that, or did I mishear you?
You can book a reservation for 5 p.m. if you miss your 4 p.m. shuttle or if you cancel. We won't, prevent you from booking same day.
Got it. Okay. All right. Here's a one that we've got fingers crossed for. Can you provide updates on getting an Uber shuttle from North Bay to Parnassus? I'm hopeful.
Well, it's something we're actively working on, but ultimately we have to sell a few more seats here on the current program to expand beyond where we are.
Great. Any other questions?
No, I think we're good.
Anybody else want to put?
Margaret, we're going to come back to you.
What happens? I'll throw some questions out. What happens if I take it, I sign up for the month of September and then I'm not going to use it for October, but I want to return back in November. Can you tell me how that works?
At the moment, we have capacity on all our routes, so that should not be a problem at all.
So I would just be able, I get basically back in, I don't get preferential treatment because I kind of stepped out of line, but I'll be able to still try to purchase
Yeah,
the seats,
yes,
right? Oh, good.
yes. The preferential treatment, the point of that isn't so much to be special as much as you've already changed your habit and we want to be able to keep you from keeping that habit going. Uber has been amazing in terms of accommodating needs for seats. So we can always come back to them and go, we need a few more seats, and Liz will work it out with us. If we can, we can. If we can't, we'll let you know.
Terrific. And then how many pickups times per day are there per location roughly?
There's a couple of routes that have twice in the morning and twice in the afternoon, but the rest of them have 3 times a day. And all that information is detailed on the schedule that we have. You should be able to see. And I think there might be one that even has 4 runs.
Terrific. Okay, well, and if I wanted to know what those runs were and exactly what those stops are, I just go to the website, right?
Correct. The website will link you to the file. There's an I believe it's a Word file, a PDF. Then you can look through it page by page to see what works for you.
Terrific.
Anything else?
I think we're coming to a close.
Yeah.
Amanda, have you made any new friends on the Uber shuttle?
No, I wouldn't say it's funny because I'm a yapper. So I think I told a lot of people, I was like, oh, I'm so excited to like meet all the Uber employees and, socialize. But then I ended up I'm sleeping. But I have noticed a lot of regulars. I think like in my Uber shuttle, I talked about a guy. He always gets picked up before me and he is always sleeping in the morning. But he started bringing a neck pillow. And I was like, wow, this guy is smart. I might do that too for naps. So but I also just love that my Uber driver, he knows everyone's names, like especially when you become a regular and he'll be like, good morning, Amanda. But he starts to know everyone's name. So that's also just kind of nice. It's very personal.
Kathleen is answering a question about the lilac route,
I
but
am. I'm answering a question about the lilac. Might as well just do it live here. Is there an email address? Please, if you have any comments or feedback, please do send us feedback via transportation@ucsf.edu related to transportation items. I think Vicky can share the Uber email in just a second. But I also do, for the lilac, I do want to remind folks that yes, it is very popular. It's gaining popularity each run. And we want you to make sure that you also know about the TMA Mission Bay shuttle, which picks up about 3 minutes after that, after our lilac departure time. And that does is a free shuttle that goes around Mission Bay as well. So there are some backups that we are thankful for, but we are very aware that lilac is getting very, very excited and full. So we're working on that.
But to bring it back to Uber, you
Yeah.
can always just get on an Uber shuttle and forego anything else and not worry about the lilac because there's some parallels in some of the routes. Anything else, anyone?
Where can I find, where can I share this with, are we going to share this with others? Where can I find this webinar? Are we going to post it?
Yeah, I'll put it in the transportation digest that goes out on Monday, like in case you missed it. So I'll share that there.
I think, hold on. So there's a question, but I don't think it's the Lilac route. I think it's when you say Stevenson, I think that's the route Amanda
Oh,
takes, right?
yeah, so I'm on Stevenson and I think it's Farwell. That's probably like, so I get picked up at 6:45. It says I get to Mission Bay 8:15, but I mean sometimes I get to Mission Bay at 8 o'clock, 8:05. So yeah, I think that would be I think that's called the South Bay route on the Uber Commute store.
And it says we might have an issue with the link. Maybe we can look at
No, I
the
think
link.
people need to sign in with their credentials to get it. So it's
Okay.
only accessible once you log into My Access.
So hidden behind that.
Mhm. All right, everyone. Well, thank you all for being here today. Thank you, Liz and Amanda and Tyler and Kathleen for supporting the webinar today. Oh, we have one more slide. We have more programming. We have a few more pop-ups happening, and so pop-up next week at Parnassus Avenue, and then second pop-up, the third pop-up at Mission Bay on the 23rd. And next week we have a live webinar with San Mateo County commuters, want to save money and reduce stress, presented by commute.org. Thank you very much, everyone.
Terrific.
Calling it
Thank
a
you.
day. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.